Good morning. I don't know why we got quiet. I didn't feel words. People got quiet this time. What did we do differently this time? See? The lights we're on the side. For those of you who are new to Ithaca, this is just the time right now. So we're on time. Just so you know. My name is Rudolph Brown. I have the honor and pleasure of serving as superintendent of schools here in this beautiful city. And this is our third opportunity to welcome some of the best thinkers in the country to the school district and to our city to have a conversation. So thank you for taking the time to spend a day with us. I know we have some people who helped make this possible in the room, and I want to say thank you. First and foremost, our Board of Education, who's done so much for me and my family, but the young people of our community. I know we have board members in the room. Mr. Rob Ainsley, our board president in the room, Brad Granger, Judy Maxwell, Pat Rosalie. If you can stand in this way, please. Thank you for what you do. The hardest volunteer job I've ever seen, right there. But we also have some other folks in the room, and I want to say thank you for the folks who have made this possible. First, the folks from Imagine Learning. As a former CIO, I've worked with many vendors, and I've seen software come and software go. Folks know when we came into the district together, we did an audit of all software programs we have in our district, and we decided to get rid of a lot of stuff. We only have very few programs left. And it's because of the partnership we've been able to establish with folks who really care about young people and their tools are making a difference for our teaching and learning and achievement in classrooms. And Imagine Learning has done that for us. And quite frankly, you made it possible for us to have an outstanding professional development opportunity for our community and for the region this summer. So I know Darren Hill's in the room, the CEO, there are other folks in the room from Imagine Learning. I want to say thank you for helping us put on this conference today and all that you've done to help our young people in our school district. Thank you. Well, Darren, it's in camera here. Right, just wave your hand. There you go. After EI, thank you. I say all the time, everything we do is connected to the public education initiative. You've been outstanding partners for me, our district, our young people. Thank you for helping us put this event on again today. Folks from APEI in the room, could you wave? I know you're here. There you go. You always sit together. And as I said, we have folks from all over. TC3, thank you so much for partnering. Cornell University, thank you so much for partnering and helping us put on this event today. We have folks, I think, from 8 different states, and folks registered late yesterday and last night, so I don't have your names up here. I apologize, but I believe we have 8 different states represented. Unfortunately, Virginia's not here this year, but we have new states coming to us. Utah is one. So we have to have Virginia. I'm from Virginia, that's right. Virginia in the house, yeah. So I'll add that up later. So we have 8 different states in the house today. We also have school districts from all over New York State in the house today. I know we have folks in our region, Trumansburg, South Seneca's in the house. You can say something, not call your names out. I know Poughkeepsie's in the house today. Everyone take a lesson from Poughkeepsie. Poughkeepsie's in the house today. Greece is here, I think, also. There you go, Greece. There you go. So we have a lot of different folks from all over the state here to learn and grow with us. We're also live streaming this event, so folks, if you're at home watching us wherever and however you're accessing this event, I hope that you're enjoying it. We've asked folks to engage in the conversation not only today, but throughout the year. That's what's happened the last few years as we've had this event. The conversation started here, but they continue throughout the year. And it's helped us transform the culture and what's happening in our classrooms for our school district. So continue the conversation online using the hashtag ICSD. PLC. But we start all of our conversations with this image. A mentor once said to me, everything you do should be on one page. And now we translated that into one t-shirt. You may see some of these t-shirts now. We have our vision and our mission statement on a t-shirt. And I say to folks, we refer to it as a Wegmans moment. When you're in Wegmans, most of the folks in our community can speak to what we're going after as a school district and what we do. We're serious about thinking here, thinking in all that we do. And I'm not going to steal Derek's thunder because he's going to talk much about what we've done and what this means. But for all adults, all our young people, 6,000 plus thinkers, this represents the thinking and problem solving, collaboration that we expect from thinkers in our community. And it's working for us. And how do we do that? The simplest mission statement, along with the simplest vision, from my perspective in the country, is be engaged, educated, and empowered. It can mean different things to everyone, but for us, it's getting closer to meaning the same thing for all. And I'm seeing it happening in my classroom, and young people are starting to understand what it means to be engaged, educated, and empowered in 2014. And it's working for us. I wish I had time to talk about our achievement numbers, maybe another time, but we're seeing significant, unprecedented achievement gains in our school district because of our vision and mission and our common minimum around the work. We're excited about you being here to help us continuously improve. Oh, let me go back to that. Learning target. Wow, this thing is doing somewhere. The learning target for today. Again, we use learning targets in our classrooms. It's going to be hard to have a classroom of 200, 250 folks today, but we still will have a learning target. So today, think about this learning target. We hope everyone has a chance to access what's happening here today, virtually or in person, in a way that will affect your practice. The things I hate to do, logistics. So Jenny, I hope you knew about it. I'm going to try to get it all right. There is a conference app, and in that conference app, there's an agenda. There's information about the speakers. There's other information in the conference app. If you're having trouble downloading the app, or you don't have a clue what I'm talking about, or if you're like someone I know in the back without a phone or a device, we have a print copy for you also. But there's a conference app, and thank you apparently for being here and offering this app up for us free. If you have questions about how to get it and how to access it, you can check with them. Hope I get this right, Jimmy. Everyone must sign into My Learning Plan if you're coming up, not everyone. If you register through My Learning Plan, you need to sign in. And all ICSD folks need to make sure you sign in at some point today so you get credit for being here. Lunch will be in the Ithaca High School cafeteria, and there are probably 400 signs that will lead you right to that. I saw those signs, so there's signs for lunch and where that will be, and it will be served by our food service department, which is the best food service department anyway. Quickly, thank you, Magdalene, and we have the best documentarian in the world in the house today. I want to, Josh Clark, can you wave? Josh has worked with folks such as Steven Spielberg, and I won't go on and on, but he's worked in Hollywood. Unfortunately, he's on staff with the Magdalene, and he is working on a project. He's wanted to tell the Ithaca story of sorts. I had a chance to spend 3 days with him. He was on site for 3 days, and he captured a lot of footage. And he and we are attempting to tell a story about some of the work that's happening in our school district. We're going to show a rough cut, a beta version of that film today, around 12:45, around the lunchtime hour, if you wish to see it. Not a finished product, just one aspect of the story that's been told here in Ithaca. If you want to take a look at it, it's 25 minutes long or so. I think we roll out some food to come into the cafeteria, into the auditorium, if you wish to come in and check that out. But that will happen today at 12:45. A book signing. I know Cheryl, I hope Cheryl's here. Cheryl Dobbin here right now? Cheryl is going to be here later. She's going to speak. She has a great book out. Her book is going to be here for sale, I believe, and she's going to be here to sign a copy of that book. Derek and Laura Cabrera here. They've written 7 books. Now, I think some people came in with the book and they wish to have that book signed, and they'll be out in the lobby as well. I was fortunate to have an opportunity to co-author a book with Derek and Laura, Think Tweets, 100 Tweets for Educators, and it really is our thinking, our brain jump of tweet. It starts with the tweet and it ends with the tweet. And there's a place for people to add a tweet. But we are attempting to get a conversation started about thinking. So it's a cool little book. We have a copy for everyone in the room. It's yours. We'll have it outside on the table, Jenny, for everyone to pick up. I'm not saying you necessarily have to get us signed, but we will sign it if you wish to have us sign it. But a copy, I would love for the conversation again to continue. And here's one way to get the conversation started. Got a call from the superintendent in Vancouver, Washington last week, who's using this book for his summer PD. And he's using it for his administrative retreats. And they're starting every meeting in their district with a tweet from the book, a way to get the conversation started and get folks to think. So again, that would be one. We have a copy for everyone out there. For free, pick it up, and we would love to sign it if you wish for us to do so. How much time, okay? If you haven't noticed yet, Jenny is the person who manages everything in my life. I don't get dressed in them without asking Jenny what to wear. But Jenny is awesome. So, unfortunately, Sir Ken won't be here today. A lot of us are looking forward to having him with us this summer. You can watch his TED Talk online, like 300 million other folks have watched it. But he was hoping to come share some unique thinking and where his thinking is right now. Last night he sent me a video that he wanted me to share with the folks in the room because he wasn't able to be here because of some health concerns. And I thought, if okay, we can take 5 or 6 minutes to show his thinking and what he wanted to share with you.
So Ken Robinson here, and it's my pleasure to say a few words at the beginning of today's conference. I have to begin with an apology to the organisers of the conference, to Dr. Brown, and to all of you who've come along today. I had planned to be, had agreed to be, fully intended to be with you all day today at the conference, and I've been really looking forward to it. I wanted to learn more about what's happening in Ithaca, I wanted to hear the speakers, and I wanted to be part of today's conversations. These are for purely personal reasons. I'm simply not able to travel at the moment, and therefore not able to be with you. And I wasn't able to let the conference organisers know until really a very short notice on Friday. And they've been absolutely heroic and wonderful and very understanding. And I know it's left them with a problem for today, and I want to at least make you aware that the problems originated with me and not with them. That said, I do want to wish you well for today's conversations, and I'm hoping very much I can be part of a future conference in Ithaca. I was going to tell you about the book I'm working on, so I would like just to advertise it if I could briefly to you. Now, I'm often asked about the practical implications of the arguments I'm making for more creative approaches to education, to the revolutionising of schools. And somebody said to me recently that they were very interested in my theories. And my reply to that is that they're not theories. I'm really just arguing for what seems to me to be practical common sense. It's what I know works. I've been in education a very long time, and I work a lot with schools, with teachers, with young people, and I'm very conscious of the conditions under which people do their best and under which they flourish, and the ones that make them wilt and make them feel stifled. You know, a lot of the things I've been saying, of course, have been heavily publicised through the success of the TED Talks I've done. And I was at an event recently in the Midwest at a university. I was there to speak to the students, and we had a lunch with some of the faculty beforehand. And one of them said to me, you know, you've been at this a long time now, haven't you? I said, what's that? I said, you know, promoting change in education. I said, yes, I have. And he said, what is it, 8 years now? I said, how do you mean 8 years? He said, well, you know, since that TED Talk. And I said, well, yes, you know, but I was alive before that. I was invited to speak at TED because of the work I've done in this sort of field. And I have to say, the things I argue for are not of my origination. I mean, I've been arguing for ideas and principles and processes in education. I've tried to explain them as clearly as I can. I've tried to champion them. But the principles themselves go back a very long way. They root back to the very beginning of formal education. And they underpin some of the most successful styles and methods of teaching that we've ever seen. So I'm not making new claims, I'm not making theoretical claims. I try to theorise about them. I try to explain why these things matter. But it seems to me axiomatic that they do. Well, what I'm talking about are forms of education that respect the individual's talents, the importance of engaging with children at a personal level, that recognise the diversity of talent and intelligence and ability, that recognises also the diversity of occupations and sorts of lives that people will lead once they go beyond education. And a big part of my argument is that our education system is essentially modelled on industrial processes. And this is really what's at the heart of this new book. And I just want to say a couple of words about it. One of them is this, that when I talk about the industrialisation of education, it's a metaphor. I'm not actually suggesting that kids are put into moulds and pressed and pushed out the fire on the conveyor. I'm saying that the processes bear a lot of similarities to industrialisation because they arose in the context of industrialisation. But you know, there's actually a more exact metaphor here, which is not with the industrial manufacture of inanimate goods, it's with industrial farming, which developed at the same time as the industrialisation of the manufacture of goods and products. Industrial farming was made possible by various innovations, the mechanisation of the processing of crops, the development of mechanised tractors, threshing machines and so on. It was also made possible in the production of crops by the development of artificial fertilisers, which forced plants to go at a much faster rate than they would otherwise. And because these great farms that grew under industrialisation were largely single crop facilities, it also required the development of industrial pesticides to keep these crops from becoming infected and from decaying because of the lack of natural ecosystems. So those three things have contributed to the industrialisation of food production and of animal production. But here's the thing, they are not sustainable. They've led to all kinds of problems in the natural environment from runoff of these chemicals. The indications are that we're maybe reaching the end of the impact of some of these processes, and in the process, they've led to the deterioration of topsoils and the pollution of waterways. The thing is, as well about this is that these industrial processes are focused on output, on size, and on the productivity of plants. Organic farming is quite different. It's based on creating conditions for natural growth. And organic farming still has high levels of output, but it's not focused on the plant, it's focused on the soil. If you get the soil right, the plants will go anyhow. In other words, organic farming is focused on the culture part of agriculture. Well, I think education is like that. Our education system has become very preoccupied with output, with data. And along the way, we've produced these rather sterile environments. Not in every school, there are fantastic schools. I'm sure there are very many great schools in Ithaca, which you'll be learning about today. But the dominant cultural standardisation of data-driven outputs has led to sterility in the culture of education. And what I'm arguing for is that we should be supporting schools and teachers who recognise that the vitality of schools depends on the culture of the school itself, and on diversity, on innovation, creativity, and on the artistry of teaching. If we don't get it right at the ground level, then it will never be right. You can't will these things into being by pressing for more and more data-driven outputs, which inhibit the growth we're looking for. So that's the essence of what my new book's about, and it's also trying to set out what the practical strategies are that will bring us there, and it's based on a lot of case studies of schools around the world, not only in America, but in Europe and in Asia as well. You see, I would tell you what the title of the book is, but I've learned a lesson here. When I spoke at the first TED conference, my first TED conference in 2006, I said I was working on a new book called Epiphany. Well, it was at the time called Epiphany. The thing is, we changed the title afterwards to The Element, by finding your passion changes everything. But it was too late then, in terms of the TED Talk, to go back and re-edit it. So that talk, which has been seen by, I think, maybe 300 million people around the world, has done wonders for the sales of books called Epiphany. Something else. So I could tell you the title of this new book, but I'm not going to. All you can do is keep your eye open for it, and if you invite me back next year, as I hope you will, then I'll show you the title printed on the cover. In the meantime, my renewed apologies to Dr. Brown, to the other speakers today, to the organisers of the conference for not being with me in person, and my renewed good wishes for what I know will in any case be a fantastic day. I wish I were there with you, but I know it's going to be just as good without me, and I look forward to hearing the outcomes and seeing you at some future date.
Well, again, if you haven't had a chance to follow Sir Ken on Twitter, please do so. Tweet at him today and tell him he should be here. But he is very active on Twitter. He tweets 3 or 4 times a day. He hasn't been doing so much here lately for other reasons, but please check him out on Twitter. Again, we do hope to get him here in the near future. Hopefully next summer they'll have a chance to to engage and participate in the conversation. Again, you have an app or you have a device, I hope. Check out the lineup of speakers today and check out their bios. Some very accomplished folks are going to be here to share and inspire us. As I introduce folks, I won't go into their long bios because I won't have time, but please check out what they've done. They're very impressive folks. And to start it off,